Okay, I have no idea if this video, I don't know if the recording got corrupted too. People were watching this on YouTube. So we were only 24 seconds of the video and shit like broke. So I'm gonna do the intro again, but just a heads up. So we were 24 seconds of the video. This is Gen Z's dating inflation crisis. This video is gonna be a fucking banger. This is by Nod. Never heard this creator before. We're gonna learn who he is today. The original video will be in the top link in the description. Go subscribe, go show some love.
Ugh, he's too short, he's too ugly, he's too fat. Oh, I like this one. No, I didn't.
We basically just saw the skin at the beginning, or some of the skin at the beginning. I still got another 5,000 in my DMs to look through.
Yep. How did dad manage to get with someone like mom? That dude is ugly as fuck.
Hey.
This is so accurate.
I like you. Let's get married and have kids together.
Oh yeah,
okay.
Right.
Seeing as there is no other option for me in this small town.
Okay, this is exactly where we stopped. And I was about to say, which I'm about to say right now, I talk about this all the time, bro, and not on stream, but outside, like in real life. The internet killed dating because it brainwashed men and women in different ways. Our generation, I'm Gen Z, right, and I'm sort of in the dead middle of it. I'm 23 right now. It killed it because it brainwashed us at a young age. With women, it was social media and dating apps, because the things that we're attracted to and the reason why we mate in our species is all subconscious. You can't consciously sit here and go, I want to like this thing or this person, because if you could, I'd just go point at the fat bitch with low self-esteem and be like, I want that. You know what I mean? And then trick myself into liking that. Because that's the most convenient option. So obviously I'd go do that, right? We can't control that. It's all subconscious, right? So with women, during this time when there was no internet, they didn't see all of the options that they could have. Now they actually can have it, which is the issue, and they don't realize that, like, and it's not something they might be consciously aware of it, and I would imagine most of them are. It's just that subconsciously you can't change that. So now they see all of these options. They see the 6'5", rich guy who's gonna treat them right. They see that on social media, and then they go on dating apps and they get like thousands of matches, overwhelming young women with options, and it confuses them subconsciously, right? It confuses them. They don't know what to do. It's not, what I'm saying is that it's not women's fault, right? That's the idea. This shit just happened to us. We got dicked over by corporations, by the government, whatever you want to say, right? We got dicked over. Now, on the male side, a lot of us got addicted to pornography at a very young age. And a lot of dudes subconsciously think that they are entitled to the 110-pound cat girl that doesn't exist, that will have sex with them whatever they want and will make them food and never complain. Right? So you see how on both sides of the equation we got brainwashed at a young age. This core problem is incredibly important to understand. There is so much more complexity around this, by the way, like infinite amount of complexity around this issue, but that's like the core issue. Okay? I think a lot of people haven't had it laid out for them that simply. So I really hope I was able to lay that out in a way that people can learn from. But let's continue this video. I know that was a lot, but this is going to be a lot for this video because there's a lot to talk about with this.
And live the rest of our lives together happily ever after.
Why is it so hard to find someone?
Here we go.
Has anyone else noticed or felt that it's just been way harder to find a relationship? Like, why is it now you get a random video on your recommended of someone saying that they're a loser and that they've been lonely?
I'm going to be honest, this is a self-report, dude. I used to see this. I don't see this anymore. Hey. The algorithm tailors to you. I'm kidding. I'm trolling. If not, then you're going to say I'm trolling.
This didn't used to happen. Didn't everyone meet someone in like middle school or something and then just get married and live the rest of their lives happily ever after together?
Totally real and not fake. Yeah,
I've noticed a trend lately of how a lot more people are saying that dating in today's age, like dating in Gen Z, is natural selection. Now, if you don't know what natural selection is, it's basically just survival of the fittest. I think the term natural selection here is not the correct term.
Yeah,
I think
that's
the
not
word
right.
that we're looking for is dating inflation, because it seems
okay,
like
hold
now,
on, wait. This could be based. Yeah, I never like that. I disagree. Now, to be fair, it's not totally fair. Obviously, I'm pretty like. I think a lot of this shit is just mentality. I'm gonna be 1,000% honest. I think that a lot of dudes just feel like they can't do it, and so they just psych themselves into believing that they can't get a girlfriend. You know. But I think if you put the work into yourself, and I don't mean getting more attractive, like, that doesn't really matter as a dude. Like, yeah, being attractive does, but it's like, it's not really, you know? It's really about, like, women don't fall in love with men because of their looks. It's because of money, so resources, right? And the confidence so that they feel protected and whatever, right? That's why they fall in love with a man. So, I said that kind of as a blanket statement. Obviously, that's not fair to say it like that, because it's not everybody's the same. But yeah, I'm kind of losing my train of thought here. Let's keep the video going. Let's see. Dating inflation.
Dating inflation.
I started to lose it there. I won't even lie.
It seems like now a lot of people have this conception that
okay, but this podcast isn't even real. Like, we know that it's staged. You know what I mean?
That if you want to find a relationship now, you need to be like 6 feet tall, you need to have 6-pack abs, you need to make 6 figures a year, and that's only to get your foot in the door. Don't even talk about actually maintaining it. Guys, don't give them the ick. Watch out, they're gonna get the ick, and they're gonna get disgusted with you. Oh, he gave him the ick. Oh my gosh, guys, it's over.
Now, any woman who uses the word ick, run away.
That relationship's dead.
I'm out
It's funny to
immediately.
look at all these people doing all their looks maxing stuff, making sure.
Yeah, that's so weird. It doesn't matter as a man. It literally doesn't matter as a man. It literally doesn't matter. Like, the looks, women don't care.
They have a can't tell tilts to their face.
Bro, how many fat comedians pull bitches? Come on, dude.
Making sure
fat,
they're
ugly
height maxing.
comedians,
I don't know,
bitches.
doing whatever random crap that they talk about in looks maxing stuff. I know it's pretty funny to look and judge and laugh, but you can't help but think that there is some merit to that now. Because with the rise of the internet and everything, I'm sure we've all noticed that not too long ago, people were getting married and having very happy relationships together and staying together for many years. Some of them even the rest of their lives.
Back in the 80s, a lot of us got married at 20.
My grandparents,
that's crazy.
On my mother's side of the family, my grandfather was telling me how he met my grandmother when they were both in middle school.
That's
and they're
insane.
still together to this day, over 50 years later.
That is insane.
How often do you see that happening now? Like, you don't see that happening very often today, because with the rise of the internet, it really has made dating more superficial, especially with.
It hasn't. It's killed it. It's dead. It's gone. It's done. It's like, we got to make this clear. Because, like, listen, anybody who thinks we can go back, you're out of your goddamn mind. Here's what we have to do, and we have no other choice. The only way out of the situation that we are in right now, this dystopian future that we live in right now, because we do. We live in a dystopian future. We live in the cyberpunk universe, literally. Not literally, but you know what I mean? Like, we're basically there. We're just in the early stages of it, by the way. We're in the early stages of it. But we're here. We're turning into, at least in the U.S., right where I'm from, we're turning into a hyper-capitalistic country, and everything's getting hypersexualized and weird, and like, we're already in that world. You know what I'm saying? It's dead. It's over. We're in the dystopia. The only way out is through. We're going to need to adapt and change and evolve through this time in history. There is no way to go back ever again. Our whole generation, Gen Z, was the first generation to get fucked over and brainwashed by technology. It's over. It's over. The only way out is through. Okay? Make that very, very clear. Now, that might sound depressing to people at first, but it's not. It's not. Everyone needs to understand these core issues that we are dealing with so that we can get through them together. So that we can work together and get through them. That's what it is.
Online dating and how that's the main way that people meet each other.
No more cope. No more cope. No, we can go back. No!
People meet each other today online.
the fuck
like,
up!
Really ever do people just make friends just from being in person?
Sorry,
That's just how it is. That's just the world. That's just how we've evolved to be, especially with dating apps like Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, all of that.
Dating apps are just a complete scam, by the way. Does it mean that with dating apps, you need to view dating apps like gambling? You know, like somebody who gets like, you know, I use dating apps. I just hop on, I delete them, and then I'll re-download them, and then I'll just spam right swipe, delete them again, check the next day. Like, that's pretty much it. DM somebody if I match with them. That's all. You need to treat it like gambling, because it's not. You're gonna get dicked over. It's actively trying to separate people, not get them together. That's the whole goal of it, right?
So what is a common thing on dating apps? Men outnumber women 3-1. For every 3 men there
you want to get into the weird facts.
There's 1 woman. So what does this do? This means that there is a low shortage and a big demand. Supply.
What the actual fuck is that image that he put on screen? What is that?
Demand. The reality of dating apps is that guys really have it rough. Like, there is not a whole lot of action that goes on there. Even me, I would like to think that I'm a pretty.
I was gonna say, I think he's a pretty good looking guy. I don't know.
Decently attractive guy. The most matches I ever topped out was like 20. Like, I topped out at like 20 matches, but everyone has a different experience.
He probably didn't use it for that long. That's cap, dude. You probably didn't use it for that long.
For example, most of the time, a lot of us guys are lucky to get more than 3 matches, while a very select few are drowning in options. But if you've seen some of these guys' profiles, asking why they aren't getting any matches, sometimes the answer is just staring them right in the face. And I mean literally staring you down. People do notice this whether we want to admit it or not, and nobody wants to be seen in.
Appearance does matter. That's what I'm saying. But like, guys, all you need to do to look good, you know, unless you have like I don't know, you had an accident, you got some burns or something, or you know, you're fucked up in some way. Yeah, then it's gonna be way harder, and doesn't mean that it's impossible though. You can still do it, but for the average person, all that you really need to do: exercise, eat a little healthier. Make sure you take care of your health. So make sure you're going to the dentist consistently, getting your teeth, you know, checked out and clean, and going to the doctor. Make sure you're healthy, and that's really about it. So just regular routine things, and that's all you really need to do as a guy. I'm gonna be honest, like, because your appearance matters, but to look like just an average Joe, which is really all you need to look like, it's not that hard, you know. Put a little effort in, man.
That light. And that's where today's sponsor is here to help you out. Teej Hanley. They've got skincare systems for pretty much every guy's needs. Anti-aging, sensitive skin, oily skin, you name it. Personally, I use their acne system because it works. It comes with 3 steps.
I've never used like my skin's pretty ass too. I probably should use some shit like this, some skincare stuff. I might want to look into that.
Salicylic acid face wash to keep your skin clean and fight breakouts. Glycolic acid pads to exfoliate and keep pores clean. Acne serum to target and prevent blemishes. Since I started, my skin looks clear, redness is down, and I actually feel more confident, whether I'm on a date, networking, or just existing in Gen Z's worldwide dating crisis. And that's the thing. Building routines like this does have a trickle-down effect. More confidence helps you crush it at work, make more connections, and get closer to bigger and bigger goals. Of whatever you're...
Listen, let me tell you what it is. Where confidence comes from. If you ever try to, is the word ascribe? That's probably not a word. Ascribe? I think I just made that up. If you ever try to use an external source for your confidence, you've lost. You've already lost, because that means you're not confident. You only feel confident because of some external thing. What happens if that external thing gets taken away from you? What happens if it all falls apart? Which everything will in life. So at some point, that's just what happens. That's just what it is. What happens when that happens? You need to build confidence within yourself first. That's where it comes from. It comes from you, in your heart and your mind. Then you can do external things. But it starts here. It does not start in anything external. Never do that. It will only end in misery. Only end in you being in the exact same place that you are right now.
Trying to achieve. And Teach Hanley is having a massive deal for you with up to 40% off your first box, plus a free gift worth $20.
Obviously, do whatever you want. By the way, I'm just telling you. This whole video is gonna be me saying my perspective on things. Everybody should do whatever the fuck they want.
Just click my link in the description or pinned comment to get started. And once again, thank you Teach Hanley for sponsoring today's video. Okay, where was I? Oh yeah, but for women, they can just go in a dating app. Doesn't matter what they look like.
Here we used photos of male model. Take a look, clearly good looking guy. And here is a girl who's clearly not so.
Yeah, no, Gerber Johnson did this. I don't know what happened to the video. I don't know if YouTube took it down or something. He did it where he went on Bumble as this fat, like horribly conventionally ugly woman who was like 50 something, had kids already, can't have kids anymore. And got like thousands of, or it might have been thousands, like hundreds of matches and messages overnight. And dudes were like, and like handsome young dudes were trying to fuck. Like what? That one was absurd to me, but that one was crazy.
Good looking. So we wanted to see which one of these will get more Tinder matches. The male model.
It's the woman. Obviously.
Got 112 likes in 24 hours. Pretty good. Let's compare it to the not so attractive girl. She got 474 likes in the same time span in the same city.
You don't even have to be a girl. You can literally just be a full-on dude and then just.
Gerber Johnson has also talked about this. What did he say? He described it well. It was like this. He just described it like, yeah, the science of how many eggs a woman produces in her lifetime and how much sperm a man produces in his lifetime. There you go. Right? That's why this is like this. Nothing else needs to be said.
Just label yourself as a female and then your match is just 10x. On dating apps, if you have a vagina, then you're guaranteed to just fill out the like bar. It sounds so dumb when I say it, but this is true. There's been many
I feel that, bro. I feel that.
Many experiments done on this exact thing to where it doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter the looks.
No, of course
any girl
not.
can get more matches than any guy, even like the sexiest man alive. You could put him on a dating app. A girl who just puts, I don't know, who just puts like an ugly selfie of themselves would just outnumber that. They'll beat it every single time. And so basically what this does, this gives a false impression to where so many men will hop on Tinder, get no matches, and completely destroy their self-esteem, thinking they're ugly. You know, there's this whole
and then women will get their ego boosted and they think that they can then pull the, you know, the fucking the 6 foot, like I said, the 6'5" rich guy is gonna treat them perfectly and never, you know, it fucks up both people. It's not good. That's dating app.
Like, oh
that's dating apps and social
media.
media.
Loneliness epidemic, guys. Is the male loneliness epidemic real? Well, as a certified,
is it real? Yes. Who asked if it's real or not? I thought everybody was in agreement that it's real.
And myself, I can definitely guarantee that it is real to some extent, because it's no coincidence now that
to some extent. What do you mean? It's obviously
this generation is the loneliest we've ever been. Like more and more people now are more lonely. Like less people are going out, making connections and having friends, especially most guys in their dating life now. Now, yes, I know that doesn't mean it's like that for everyone. I know, guys, I'm not dumb. Not every single guy is lonely. I know that. I know, guys, I know. Leave me alone. Be quiet.
Nobody was saying that shit. Nobody was saying. And if they were, they're retarded. They're not worth listening to.
Silence! Do not disrespect the goon god. But anyways, now with women having more options than they've ever had, it's gotten to a point to where it's basically just a game of pick and choose whoever you want.
Why did you cheat on me?
I was ovulating. You don't know women.
Yes, I know that.
What? That's definitely a sketch. There's no way that's real. There's no way. What?
Why did you cheat on me?
I was ovulating. You don't know women.
Yes, I know that women aren't the only ones that can cheat in relationships. Men are also very guilty of this too. There's even a whole saying about how men are only as loyal as their options. But I personally think it goes both ways now. Basically meaning if you're in a relationship and this is the only person that has ever shown you attention in your life, chances are you're gonna be a very loyal partner. However, when you can open your phone and it's a game of pick me, I think you can see where this is going. You can be the most loyal person ever, Those people do exist, yes. But all it takes is one weak moment from one party for everything to start crashing down. Let's go back, for example. So let's say back in the 80s, what were your dating options? Either a coworker or a longtime friend, or someone you met in school, or someone you met when you were in high school, or someone you met at church, someone that you met through a friend of a friend. Basically, if you lived in a small town or even a big town, your dating options were very limited. But now today, that's changed. To where what time in history have you ever been able to just look in your DMs and see so many guys just lining up to give you attention? And it's to a point now to where you can just pick and choose. Like, oh, this guy's too short. This one's too tall. Oh, this one's the right height, but he doesn't make enough money. Oh, he's ugly. This one's out of shape. Ooh, I like this one. Let's see how it goes. He gave me the ick. I'm not really feeling this one. Oh well, back to the DMs. There's definitely many ways the internet has benefited humanity for the better, but then there's also other instances like this to where it's really just screwed over everyone.
Man, I want to find love, but I don't know where to start.
Why don't you try out Tinder or Bumble? You're a pretty decent looking guy, so I don't think you'd have any issue.
Wow, it's been a whole month and I still have 0 matches. I must be ugly then. Maybe I'm just meant to be alone.
Whereas most guys, we do not have that as a luxury to us at all. Unless you're like super good looking, you make all this money. Oh, for fuck, you're super tall.
I don't even think it's being super good looking. I think it's literally just like being rich. You know? No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm telling you, it's more so a mentality thing. I really do believe that. Yes, these external things I just mentioned do matter, but they're not going to give you more confidence. You could be rich and have 0 game, and you get some bitches, but not really, you know? You'd still what the
in
fuck?
shape, and yeah, you know, you got all these options. But for most guys, it's definitely a challenge now because it's a very different landscape than what it's ever been. I kid you not. So I was talking to this girl once, and I'd like to think that I'm in pretty good shape. Like, I have abs. They aren't defined right now because I'm bulking, but they are there. But apparently, that's not enough anymore. You know, things were spicing up in those DMs. Nothing crazy, but the conversation was drifting in that direction. And she wanted to see more. So I sent that photo, and I got blocked. Like, excuse me, what? Isn't this physique seen as one of the best in the world in the early 2000s? But then it hit me. Because everyone now is constantly being exposed to the best of the best online, it gives a false impression of what everyone's day-to-day looks like. Basically, what I'm saying is...
I feel like... How did she get blocked off that? The fuck? That's crazy.
Because the algorithm promotes the extremes. Like how on TikTok you'll see...
all I'm saying is bro dodged a bullet.
Random video of someone that most people wouldn't say is the most beautiful person in the world, just to scroll down and see the complete opposite. To where it becomes so normalized that people think this is just how everyone looks.
The amount of attractive women versus the amount of attractive men per capita is embarrassing. My math isn't mathing, so where are all the men? Because there must...
Yeah, you see what I'm seeing? Nose ring theory. We gotta watch a video on this. I saw it. It was very funny.
They must be here.
People would like to think that dating is very equal. You know, people date on their level. Like, for example, if let's say you're like a 6 out of 10 in terms of looks. See, I don't like describing people in that way in terms of just being a number, but it's the best way to understand it. I can say
it's the best way to do it.
Imagine someone who's 7 out of 10, a 10 out of 10, or a 1 out of 10. You immediately have a picture in your mind of what that looks like to you. So imagine someone who is a 6 out of 10. They would also get with someone who is also a 6 out of 10.
That is not a 6 out of 10, bro. Those two people are not... What the fuck? I don't think he was giving an example.
It has gotten to a point where that is not the case anymore. That is not how it works.
This is how bars and dating apps work, and this is how tight-knit
communities
work.
Is so funny.
People like each other more, especially women liking men.
Guys typically have to date downwards, and women like to date upwards. And honestly, can you blame them? You know, if you had all these options, like guys, come on, let's be honest. If you had all these options,
it makes sense. Once again, the amount of sperm that a man produces in his lifetime and the amount of eggs a woman has in her lifetime. There you go. There's the math.
Let's say you had 100 people and you got to choose whichever one you wanted to be your partner. Obviously, you're going to go for the most attractive one with the best personality. Like, that's just how it is. That's just life. That's how the world works. So also another term called hypergamy, meaning you go for your best option. That's why you see a lot of now. Why people get cheated on a lot now. Like, why cheating is so widespread today is because of this exact thing. It's because people have been given the option now to get with whoever they want. Women have more options than ever. So who's to say, you know, getting with this guy, it's like, yeah, you know, he treats me really good.
Men do too, but see, I feel like men are more likely to cheat now too because of porn, though. You know what I mean? Like, you sort of get that mentality of like, I just gotta, as you see a hot girl, it's like, I just want to fuck her, you know what I mean? I just want to, like, and it always, like, obviously men were always that way, but now it's like, you feel like you could do it more because of that, you know?
Just hit me up and there's so much more attractive.
That's my perspective.
That's what
it's
gotten to now. To whereas back in the day, I say back in the day, like 20 years ago, not even like 10 or 15 years ago, 20 years ago, this didn't happen as much. You didn't have hundreds of people lining up just to get your attention. This is why old people are in happy relationships. Why they seem to be more happy and more satisfied than us. Because they've gotten with one person that they liked. Every time they've had an argument.
I told my mom. This is exposing something. I told my mom one day about that dating app experiment that Gerber Johnson did. She looked baffled. She was like, "What? How?" You know, the by the way, just a reminder, it was already a video, but the experiment of the ugly, fat, 50-something-year-old woman, post menopause, has no all that shit, right? And getting like hundreds of likes in 24 hours, and everybody, these like handsome young guys wanting to fuck her and things. I told my mom about that, and she was baffled by that. I'm not, because I grew up in this generation. I get it, but she was baffled. Yeah, because she is from a time where you didn't have all these options, or women didn't have all these options, and guys didn't have such low self-esteem to where they felt like they need to go after that. That's insane, bro. That's insane to me. Like, what the fuck?
Separated
Why?
Just on that. They worked things out together. They worked out their differences, and their bond grew stronger. That is not very common now in most relationships.
No.
Most relationships. Not all relationships, but most relationships now. Whenever there's something that goes wrong, people just separate immediately. Like, okay, I don't like you anymore. Fine, so be it. It's also a double-edged sword too, because most old people are not familiar with how to use the internet. It's kind of like a natural guard against it. It's like they don't know how to use the internet, so they don't know how to get on Tinder and then see all these options. So boom, they are locked in. They love their husband and wife, and they're together forever. Kind of sad how that's like actually the reality. Because of all this, you see the rise of all these weird communities. You say a lot of people like to call them the incel communities, where you have people who are so convinced that if you weren't born a certain way, then there's no point of even trying. You weren't born 6'4", you're not attractive, you're ugly. There's nothing you can do to fix that. So therefore, you're screwed. You should never try. These are called the black pill community.
I think those people are losers. That's what I think. Let me tell you why. It's not that those things that they just listed don't matter. It's that you don't want to try and improve your life and yourself to get the thing that you're complaining that you can't get, because you can get it. Absolutely, you can get it. I'm telling you, it's all a mentality thing. It's all a mentality thing.
And you should never go there because it's very sad. But then this also spawned a completely different community entirely. One that you might have heard of before. Looks maxing, trying to get better, trying to better themselves.
Looks maxing is such a funny meme, but the fact that it actually, like, people actually, like I said, it's cope. You know what I mean? It's cope.
To look better for the opposite gender so that they can get a partner, which is not a bad thing. It's a very normal thing to do. A lot of people go to the gym for this exact reason. So they can look better to, possibly have more dating opportunities.
That's the only reason why people go to the gym. Come on now. Come on now. For someone like me, it's also emotionally regulating. But that's the only reason. You want to look attractive to women. Everything we do is basically for mating purposes in our species. Like, it's not, we don't need to cope about this.
More relationship opportunities. But some people take these communities to the extreme. They focus on the most minute details that do not matter at all. Like, yes, looks do matter. We all know this to be true. People will treat you differently based on how you look. Even me. You clicked on this video, you saw my appearance, and you came to some sort of conclusion about me. Whether it was good or bad, anything. You made a judgment on me based on how I looked within the first 5 seconds of this video. And everyone does that. That's human nature. We naturally compare ourselves to everyone. Fixating on looks to the extent to where you worry about the way that your eyes tilt or something is really dumb. Because
once again, all you need to do is just go to the gym consistently. So just exercise consistently. Eat a little bit healthier. You don't need to just eat super clean or whatever. Just eat a little bit healthier. Make sure you're going to taking care of your health, like, so, doctor, dentist, these kinds of things, and you're good. That's it. That's it. Now, sure, if you're somebody who has a lot of acne, maybe you look into something like Accutane, or look into how you can solve that. Like, obviously, there's plenty of other. We can go into all the complexities, sure, that make it a little more complicated for the individual. But I mean, like, it's really not that hard to get the appearance that you need. It's really not.
That does not matter. In my experience in different relationships in the past, that does not freaking matter at all. To the points where we have people ruining their lives with plastic surgery, all in the name of looking better. But really what they're forgetting, maybe it's not the looks that's holding them back. Maybe it's just their personality.
Yeah.
Do some people
for most men it is. Exactly.
Think for a second that maybe they just suck to talk to?
Yeah, maybe you just suck. Maybe, yeah, you ever thought that maybe you just suck? That's not what he's saying. He's saying suck at talking to me, but that's what I'm saying. You ever thought that maybe you just suck? You ever thought about that?
Personality. Do some people ever think for a second that maybe they just suck to talk to? Looks can get you in the door. But if you're like talking to a brick wall, then it's only gonna last for so long. But despite everything I've said, dating is not over. It's definitely not dead. A lot of people think now that dating is just over, that it's dead, is that only survival of the fittest. Only the people that are the most attractive, 6 feet tall, 6 figures, 6 inches in a different area, you know where, that's the only way to get a relationship now. But that is just not true. I myself am a short dude by most people's standards. Like, I am not tall at all. I am a whopping 5'6", 5'7" with certain shoes on, actually. I know, guys, I'm so tall. I could have very easily fell into this mentality of I'm not good enough, therefore I will never be good enough, and there's nothing that I can do to better myself, to give myself better odds. But I didn't do that. When you're an adult,
seriously think he's a good looking guy. Like, I don't know how you could not like bro.
Nobody's gonna come and save you. Nobody cares enough about you to come and fix your problems, because everyone has their own issues that they're dealing with. So therefore, it is up to you to pick yourself back up and try again.
Yes, in a lot of ways, the internet and online has benefited us overall in terms of access to information and education.
But one common consensus:
over information is bad for humans. And that's not a controversial statement, of course. Everybody knows this. But having an abundance of information just overwhelming your brain, we were never meant to see that or experience that. So obviously, yes, it brainwashed us and fucked us in a lot of ways, especially because in Gen Z, because it caught us during our development while our brains were really developing. So a lot of this shit got seeped into who we are as people.
That most people have come to is that the internet has overall screwed a lot of people over when it comes to dating, especially for the average man. But there's always one thing I see people...
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Because I don't need to describe it again. Because it dicked over women too. It screwed over women too. It screwed over everybody. It screwed over the whole generation. We don't need to play this game. I'm so sick and tired of hearing like, oh, men going, oh, woe is me. Oh, it's all women's fault. Oh, no, why are you pointing the finger at you're pointing the finger at your fellow person in our generation, at your fellow human. What about the people that invented this technology? What about the people that every day are preying on your insecurities, trying to separate us as people as much as possible? What about those people? What the fuck are we talking about? Women, men, grr! Like, you know what I mean? Like, bro. Love everyone.
Miss most commonly, and that's the fact that most people are not ugly or screwed, you could say, with very few exceptions. All it takes is just a little bit of effort in the areas that matter the most, especially in your appearance. Take this video, for example. Here's a guy that most people would say is average looking. You know, typical dating life of someone in the modern day, where he hadn't been on a date in over 5 years and had never really approached anyone.
That guy's average
all it
looking?
took for him was a good haircut, a change of clothes.
It's gonna be for more like a night out scene, though. Or like you're like a day bar.
And better photos of himself. And boom, he had so many matches that he straight up just forgot to respond to most of them.
Like how I honestly check because
you're too busy. Because you're too busy.
Okay, but that's just one example. Let's say you were really short. Is dating truly just over for you? No, here's someone who's 5'2" making it work for him. Life is unfair.
Damn, what was that?
Certain people have it easier than others, and the dating market has inflated. So yeah, I can see the argument that Gen Z dating is natural selection.
Nah, it's a mentality thing, bro. I swear to God. I swear to God it is.
but I think the term dating inflation is more accurate here. Because people that didn't seem to have any issues with their dating life many years ago are now really struggling in today's market. However, there is one thing that life does give you here, and that's the chance to do better. Not everyone can be a 10 out of 10. I'm certainly not one, but everyone can improve. Another thing that I constantly see people forgetting is that looks and personality are subjective. You will be viewed differently by everyone you meet. It's like how you'll see someone online and go to the comments and there will be some people arguing how this person is mid, while others think this is the most beautiful person they've ever seen. The same goes for you. Who's to say there isn't some-
No. Who the fuck says that this is mid? Chat, you remember, you probably don't. You remember when that this is kind of a crazy thing to bring up. You remember when that photo of Doja Cat at a party with her top off and you could see her breasts went viral on Twitter and motherfuckers were like, her titties suck. Her titties are horrible. And it's like, I've seen the photo. I'm like, are these people on crack? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like literally, like, people, that's porn brain, bro. That's porn brain. That's goon brain. That's what I was talking about. That's what I was talking about the males thinking that they deserve a 110-pound cat girl that doesn't fucking exist.
Some people arguing how this person is mid, while others think this is the most beautiful person they've ever seen. The same goes for you. Who's to say there isn't someone out there that will see you in this way? Because there is. You just haven't met them yet. Or if you already have, then congratulations. Now, if you're someone that is completely against dating apps, then that's perfectly fine. You don't need to use them. What I'm getting at here is it's possible to use dating apps as a way to help your dating life or make it more convenient.
Yeah, no, it is. It is possible. It's just you have to view it in the gambling sense. Like I said, like it's like gambling. The algorithm is like that. So you really want to make sure you understand what you're getting yourself into, you know?
Convenient when done the correct way, but you don't need to use them. Relationships work the best when you're with someone who has the same interests as you. Well, duh. And there are many different ways you can meet new people with those same interests as you. I don't know, let's say you're a big D&D nerd. There are places that host events for that all the time. Or maybe you want a more aesthetic coffee shop vibe. There are plenty of those places with people you could strike up a conversation with. Or you could go to conventions. There's plenty of people there that are passionate about whatever that one thing is. And also a great place to make new friends.
That's
true. Maybe you could strike up a conversation with someone. Heck, you could even look up speed dating events in your town. But the biggest problem that people are having is that they don't try. You can sit there and take in all the advice in the world, but if you just—
They just sitting there complaining, chat.
Don't do anything with it, and nothing is going to change. There's a different way to this that people are just not talking about. Life is like a game. You can either sit there and complain about it, or you can play the game and win. You can actually take the time to improve yourself, learn new skills, learn better social skills, get better at talking to people, make yourself more attractive, find out different ways to style your hair, lose body fat. Oh, look, all of a sudden now you're more attractive. People want to date you now. But there is so much nihilism now, where people do not see that. They
don't even try.
I wasn't born a certain way, so therefore I have no chance and I will never change. That is just not true. Or you could also just have a lot of money.
Wait, was that actually the end of the video? That's great. That was a great punchline in the video. Or you could just have a lot of money. It's also true. What is it? What are some of the comments? Women are so picky, they're filtering themselves out. Yeah, that's actually, yeah. That's kind of what I was talking about earlier. Hey, here we go. It's not natural selection, it's manufactured selection. That's exactly right. Great comment. There's nothing natural about this. It's... I don't know what that is. Anyways. I definitely subscribed because W video, W creator too. Go check out the original video. Top link in the description. Let me know also in the comments of my video if you would like me to do more reactions to this kind of content. This is definitely not what I typically react to or talk about this channel. You know, we're gaming and we're doing goofy aw shit. But let me know. And I'd be happy to more of it because I enjoy this topic and I have a lot to say about it and just about how we can change our future, you know what I mean? How we can improve together. So yeah,